Function operations. The objective of this video is to decompose a composite function. So previously we learned how to compose a function. This lesson is to do the opposite, to decompose. So you're giving one function and then you want to break it down into two independent functions. The goal is for neither of the function to ever be just x. So if I am given the function square root of x squared minus 3, the outer function is the square root and the inner function is x squared minus 3. I want to take out the inner function and just leave x. So in this case, if I were to pull out the x squared minus 3, the inner function, that thing that I pulled out will be my g of x. And then my f of x will be whatever is left over when I pulled out my inner function. So when I pulled out the x squared minus 3, I would be left with just the letter x in that radical. So that will be my second function, f of x. Note that the goal is so that if I were to compose f with g, I will end up back in the original problem. So we can check our work. So compose f with g, x squared minus 3. It gives me back to the original. Therefore, I know that I did this correct. Now, sometimes you might end up with different functions when you break it apart, and you'll still get the right answer. Because as long as the function is not the identity function, f of x is equal to x, and you can compose f of g, and you'll return back to the original, you have done the problem correctly. So I want to break up h of x. Well, I want to pull out this inner function, so I'm going to call that g of x. And that's going to be x minus 5. When I pull out the x minus 5, whatever's left over will be my f function. So I'm left with x to the third power. I can check my work. So if I were to do f of g, starting with my f function, x minus 5, put in parentheses, go back to my f function, 3. They are the same. So check. We're good. Again, I want to pull out this 4x plus 4 plus 5. So that will be my g of x. Whatever you pull out has to be your g of x because your g of x is the thing that you plug in when you're doing f of g. We can't just compose the function anyway. I cannot compose g of f. The goal is to compose f of g. That will determine what h of x is. So whatever is left, so 2 square root of x plus 2.